Hi everyone. It seems that if you're a musician, everybody's like, oh, you don't have perfect pitch? Oh, such a shame. But now I tell you 3 reasons why it's not so good to have a perfect pitch unless you know how to use it. So, very simple, very briefly, what is perfect pitch? Perfect pitch is the ability that some people have to recognize the right note through a sound. For example, you drop a pen, bling, and they say, "Oh, it's an F sharp," or else the coffee machine is like a G, and maybe if you speak and you're like, "Yeah," and they say, "Ah," and they know what notes they are. That's what they can do. They recognize immediately the note. But I'll try to be as clear as possible, as Chiara as possible. Ha ha. So, first reason, people with perfect pitch, they don't hear harmonies. They hear individual notes. I make you an example with a piano. So it's obvious that this G7 at the end of this little piece in C major, the purpose of it is to make us feel like, oh, what's coming next? But people with perfect pitch, they don't hear that. They just hear G, G, D, F, G, B. Horrible. So they miss the purpose of music. They analyze each little note, but they miss the purpose that each chord or each tune has. And that's horrible. A colleague of mine said it's like seeing people in pixels. You see maybe all the dots, but you don't see the actual person. Eee. Second reason, perfect pitch can be super useful for violin or flute or oboe, clarinet, all these kind of instruments in which you have to build the note. So obviously they have a bigger advantage because they're always in tune within their instrument. But some people, they have a perfect pitch of, for example, A440. And some orchestras, they play A442 or even A443. So for these kind of people, it's very hard to join in the orchestra because they're going to hear everything out of tune. They are going to play an E flatter than actually what it needs to be. So for them, it's very, very difficult. Not to mention Baroque music. So for people who have perfect pitch and they don't know how to use it, Baroque music is off limits. You cannot play it because they have a much lower hertz for 15. And for people who have perfect pitch, it's just impossible to play with them because they'll always be out of tune. Not to mention harpsichord or this kind of instruments that you have to tune not in the equal temperament. They would go crazy playing an harpsichord. So no way. Third reason, if you're a harpist, you don't have to worry about building the intonation of the note because you tune it, right? Although it's never in tune completely. But anyway, that's another topic. But a friend of mine who has perfect pitch, she says she finds it extremely hard to play Tournier's music. And Tournier is one of our very comfortable composer. He was a harpist, so he knows the harp inside out. We can play it so comfortably, his pieces. And for her, that was a nightmare because, for example, she needed to play an F flat and her finger wanted to go to an E because for her, the sound that the F flat was making, it was an E. So what is the solution for people with perfect pitch? As my harmony teacher said, you have to learn to switch it off. Yeah, exactly. So you have to need it for your instrument or for playing or for show off. It's fine. But you have to be able to switch it off for when you need the relative pitch. So the relative pitch, it's exactly what everybody can build. And it's what I built. I was absolutely horrible at telling which kind of key that piece was in, or which kind of note. For me, B flat, E flat, A, F, they were all the same. But I solved this problem practicing with your best friend, a tuning fork, a tuning key. That gives you an A. You can also do like this. It's so much fun. Anyway, and from this, your best friend, you can calculate around and you can get used to the A sound. And then eventually you're gonna be able to recognize everything. But I'm actually very glad I don't have the perfect pitch, because at the moment I can play any kind of music with anybody in any key, and I can hear everything and I don't get crazy. I don't see music in pixels. I can really enjoy it fully. But also this allows me to have a really good relative pitch, which is what I need for my job. Let me know if you have perfect pitch or not, or what is your system of training. There are some websites as well, but I prefer to do old-fashioned with a tuning fork. Bye, see you in my next video. See you soon. Ciao, ciao. Thank you for subscribing.